time for a little bit of intellectual anarchy, where we engage in extreme truth, extreme common sense, and diversity of ideas. Hi, I'm your host, James Salazar. We just got out of the elections yesterday, and both sides, well, one side did better, but not as expected. People believed that the Republicans were going to clean the clocks of Democrats, and they were wrong. Even though the Democrats lost the House, and they might, looks like probably not, it's going to be a tie in the Senate, or the Republicans might have at least one. That looks like what's going to happen. I don't think the Democrats will take the Senate. At best for them, they will trade. They will have even numbers because certain third parties spoiled it for certain people. But that's democracy, right? So, yeah, it didn't go. And here's the thing that I'm left with. We saw that the ones who attacked the candidates in the Republican side who were the most vocal about how the Democrats are not destroying America, destroying the structure of society, did well. And the ones who were like Donald Trump Republicans did just as good as Donald Trump. They got the exact same numbers. And this is why Dr. Oz lost. He did the exact same numbers as Donald Trump, which were not good enough. So the story's coming out very interesting that Donald Trump supporting you may not be a winner for you. Number one. And those who attack the Democrats on things like abortion, things like the transgender movement and their agenda, and inflation, these were winners. And those who did that, especially in Florida, who were very strong, who hit back, did well. I think people want Republicans want a strong candidate. I think they just don't know if they want that to be Donald Trump anymore. And in this election, it really showed how the power of Donald Trump is not as powerful as you thought. But going forward, Republicans, I'll tell you what Republicans need to know. Republicans need to know that they got to talk about the issues. The Republicans have the winning issues, and if they don't talk about the issues, they attack their candidate, like Dr. Oz attacking the guy who had, brain damage, didn't matter. That's all he talked about. He should have been clearer on the issues. That guy should have been irrelevant. He's not good whether his brain is fully there or whether he's not. That's how he should have done it. It doesn't matter if he has a stroke. He's just as dangerous if his mind is fully there. You got to work on the issues. Now, Democrats, they are probably looking at this pretty wrong, and I'll tell you why. Because I think they've been emboldened. They were expecting to lose so much, even though they're probably going to lose the House and the Senate. They were expecting to lose by such large margins. They're going to be encouraged to go hard in the paint and everything that they're doing wrong. And that, instead of pulling back and adjusting to what society, what their people who they're representing wants, they're going to go hard into the paint in those ideologies that Republicans weren't clear enough on attacking. And once they reveal, and once they constantly talk about, do you want your kids to be sexualized at such a young age? Do you want your kids to be taught that gender is malleable and they could be a boy or a girl and their genitalia doesn't matter? Well, no, most Americans don't want that. And they think it's just a threat, this back and forth between Fox News and CNN. And it's just the pundits are arguing these things. These are things that are not actually working out in real life. And when you start reveal that school districts are actually encouraging this, we know that the whole medical system is now saying that gender euphoria should be addressed with gender affirming ways of dealing with the euphoria. Well, people are not good with that. Look, in this country, I believe people can change their sex, call themselves whatever they want, as long as they're not children. Children's minds are not fully developed. We know this scientifically. They're not able to come to correct conclusions. They're the most emotional volatile. Their emotions won't be clarified, especially at that level. And there are certain people who are taking advantage of that confusion, that a full mindset, and convincing them that they're of the wrong gender. And trying to teach them things that only adults should consider. We need to keep our kids innocent. And if they keep on saying to themselves, I ain't my authentic self unless I am the opposite sex and I need to call myself that. If they choose to do that at the age of 18 when they're an adult, by all means, it's a free country. They can do it. I think it's wrong. I think it's unthoughtful. And I think it's mental illness, but they have every right to do it. But to do it when a kid mind is not fully developed, it is child abuse at this highest level. We should make it against the law to give anybody puberty blockers or affect them with any medicine or any surgery until they're of the age. Because the amount of things that kids go through, things that go through, kids need to be able to change their mind. And if you make them believe that their phobias are true and not to work them out in their life, they will stick with something just because they're embarrassed to change it. And they're forced to believe something that they would have changed if we just let the natural nature. See, what the problem is, we're making it wrong to feel uncomfortable. You see, it's uncomfortable to be a man, to be a boy growing up with puberty. You don't feel right. Your body doesn't feel right. Every man has gone through it. Same thing with women. It's very uncomfortable to go through puberty as a woman. Things don't look right. They don't feel right. You're breaking out with acne. And moving past what is uncomfortable seems not to be a value anymore. And they said, well, if you don't want to be uncomfortable, there must be something wrong with my gender. No, we shouldn't demonize your gender. Your body is growing. Your body's figuring things out. Give it time to figure it out. Instead of saying, oh, I feel uncomfortable right now going through puberty, so maybe I should just consider myself a boy so I can feel more comfortable and wear the clothes that I want to wear so that makes me feel more comfortable. And because they seem to be more baggy, maybe I'm a boy. That is irrational rationalization. I understand wearing clothes that make you feel comfortable. And they might be pants and a shirt, but doesn't mean you're the wrong gender. And this is so unthoughtful. What's going on in our society, it is sick. I need to do a commercial right now because I'm getting upset. Hey everyone, it's James Salazar with James Salazar Media. If I can just have a moment of your time to talk about some things that I'm doing and some free things I have for you. Let me talk about my Intellectual Anarchy show, where we engage in extreme truth, extreme common sense, and diversity of ideas, where we talk about philosophy, religion, and politics, because I think they're inseparable from having a successful life. We also have the Brightburn YouTube Academy, where we talk about the belief systems and principles in being an entrepreneur. We also have the James Salazar Media podcast, where we talk about pop culture and politics and futurism. Some free things I have for you. We have the Brightburn Society Facebook group, where you come together with people with like-minded goals, where we maximize your illumination by maximizing your human potential. That's free. You just got to join. I also have a free ebook for you called How to Be Great at Everything You Do Blueprint. Just download that. That is free to you. Also, you can check out my coaching services and my speaking services at jamessalazarmedia.com. Everything will be in the show notes of this video. Also, I have a QR code right here. You can take a picture of that and it will link you to everything I have. So that's all I have to say. This is James signing out. Have a good one. So let's sum it up. Right now, the Democrats didn't lose as much as they thought they were going to lose. And they think that is a encouragement to keep on going hard into the paint in the beliefs and the society that they want to create. And I believe the American people are still not aware of it, that the end result of these belief systems, Americans generally let everybody be free to do whatever they want. They don't think it's going to affect them, but it is affecting them. Before you know it, the society around you has changed, and you're behind the lines of your values. And Republicans need to be more clear about their message. They got to stop fighting individual candidates, especially Democratic candidates, because they have no problem lying. They'll act moderate and being extreme. And once they're in office. So we got to be clear. The Republicans got to be clear about what and how the Democratic mindset and their agenda, and how they are uprooting the foundations of society, not just America, but a society. We're going a little crazy right now. Even Europe is rejecting us. It's for the first time in history, they're like, Americans, they're importing stupidity. Before they were like, they got radical beliefs, but it seems to work for them. And a lot of their society came over because they liked freedom as opposed to equality. Now we're so crazy, they're like, America is a loony bin. And they're right to believe that. We got homelessness, 60,000 homeless in California alone. High disparity between the rich and poor. People are graduating without being able to read, and such a high dropout. And these people and the people running it profess to be helping people. Craziness. They're destroying the family structure, and nothing can come good from that. Nothing. Just wait and see. You're going to get people who are confused and uncomfortable. And if they feel that they have a right to hurt people because they don't like how they feel, we're creating a society of people who lash out on anything that's uncomfortable, anything that pushes back on them. So the elections are very poignant. The Republicans are going to take the House for sure. They might take the Senate. We'll see what happens. And if they do, that will stop the crazy agenda of Joe Biden, which we don't know what it is. I think they're just telling him what to say. He's a puppet. That's what I personally believe. I don't think he just has that cognitiveness to actually defend his own thoughts. He's just being told what to do. And I guess anybody would do that. if that's who the president is, and they might be emboldened to run him again because of this result. It's not as bad as people are making it out to be. His cognitive decline. It doesn't affect them. It will. It'll be a bad move, which will encourage Donald Trump to run, which I don't know if the Republicans are smart enough not to do that. But I don't know how. I personally don't know how. They stopped Donald Trump, because I think he'll run as a third party and be a spoiler and ensure Joe Biden. I think they have to go with Donald Trump if he wants to run. I think they have, because his ego will not let him not run. He'll want to punish and prove things to the Republicans. So they sort of have to pick him. So that's what I feel was going on. We'll see. Check out my podcast. I should come up. I'm going to do that Friday, and I will come out with the final results of the election. Probably Georgia will come into a runoff, and that will determine who has the power in the Senate. And it's always exciting. American democracy, different than anywhere else. And the stupidity that democracy was on the ballot. No, democracy is the ballot. Whatever happens, that's democracy. Whether you like it or not, whether it aligns with your values or not, democracy happened. And fraud and all that, no. Republicans lost because they weren't clear about their messages. And the Republicans and the Democrats did better because probably more people care about the abortion issue than Republicans would like to admit. So I'm going to leave you with that today. Gonna leave you with that today, my friends. This is James Salazar signing out of the Intellectual Anarchy. Have a good one.